And we were just leaving when the air raid sneaked in on a high still peaking. Oh yeah, we were just leaving and they don't even count us. Got the club card and they still bounce us. Got no love for us, like a husband with no trust. A broken wishbone, no luck, we were just leaving. Just Leaving. I wrote that song several years ago. And if you steal it, you know where you found it first. But you know what? I got to take a second and be frank and issue a formal apology.
Change the gears on this show. I'm pumping the brakes. And I'm calling it out. I'm playing the plastic bag card. If you got a plastic bag card in your deck, there's plastic bags shoved into each other from the grocery store so you can use them to recycle or you can use them as trash bins. I'm playing the plastic bag card. I came in here to motivate people. I started this podcast to invigorate other people like me. It came out of strife. It came out of pain. Why would it stop doing the same? I am not here to be like you. I'm not here to make you feel comfortable. I'm not here to make you feel sane. I'm not here to hold up your tradition of what is and what will be heard. No, yes, I am uncomfortable. Yes, no, I do make it weird. But you know what? Life's been weird to me. Everything has been really obscured. But one thing that I know that's a straight line is faith. One thing I know that can get me there is hope. One thing I know that lasts is love. And that's the vector. That's the line. That's the lineage. I'm shooting towards it. And no, not even in a sexual way, because I could do that up and day all down the streets, nobody's business. I look good. It's not about my physicality. This body is going to waste away, and it has been wasting away. And some of y'all don't know beauty. You don't know what it's like to have gray hair at 13 years old. You don't know what it's like to go gray in college and try to cover it up and come out the closet and get disowned by your fraternity, and I can keep adding on. But you know what? The buck stops here, and I'm picking up my bed. I am picking up my cross. If I was lame and I was paralyzed in the bed I've been sitting on begging people for money, I'm picking it up, and I'm wearing it as a shield. The cross that I bear, gay, black, Jewish, German, fluent in Italian, green-eyed, light-skinned, middle-class, raised, broke now. I'm broken now, but I'm actually stronger than I've ever been. This is so awesome to come out of the deep, come out of the darkness. And I didn't know when the light was going to show. And this might just be a test. I might not actually be out in the clear yet. But I know I'm going to keep on trucking. I know I'm going to keep on trying, because the mountains I look at are just that. They're mountains, not just one mountain. There's always hills beside it. And I thought that I'd seen the glory, but you know what? I saw a higher peak today, and there was snow up there. That's a different elevation of water. That's a different transcription of spirituality. That, my friend, I'm not looking for a transactional spirituality. I'm not looking for a transactional spirituality. I've been looking for understanding, but I found the understanding and not understanding. I've been looking for understanding, I've been looking to know it, but my brain will never understand it. This life would be nothing without gravity. And the gravity of my situation seems to be heavier than that of others. But that's my perspective. If I train myself, if I live, if I resist the gravity, the pressure of this moment, my muscles can only get stronger. there might be some atrophy. But best believe when I eat, when I resupply, when I stock up, when I nourish myself, there'll be some bulking. And you guys know about bulking. I didn't come this far to be weak. I didn't come this far to give up. I'm here this far to be. And that's a scary understanding, and it's very uncomfortable. But if I did this for the money, I would lose. I'm not doing this for the money. I'm not doing this for the popularity. I'm not doing this to be politically correct. There are motherfuckers out there that hate me. Literally hate me. And there are motherfuckers out there that probably hate you. But you know what? We lift our heads up. We hold our chins up. And unless you're going to prison for slaying me and slit me by the throat, then motherfucker, back off. Because I'm still waiting on that bus. And y'all know what bus that is. That's that Kamala Harris bus. Because you know what? I identify with that black bitch. I identify with her. I was gonna ride that mother. I would have been a damn campaign manager up in this Coachella Valley like nobody else's motherfucking business. But you know what? Y'all got mad at a black bitch doing what white bitches do every day. That's what's fucking wrong with y'all. That's what's fucking wrong with me. I should have been there sooner. Should have been there earlier. Shoulda, woulda, coulda. My therapist says I gotta take should out my vocabulary. So let's drop it. Let's drop it. But let's be real. What am I so scared of? Being homeless? If I choose not to lose my dog, I will not lose my dog. If I decide that my dog and I will die together, then they will literally have to kill me to take my dog out my arms. I don't want to put my dog through that. I don't want it to get that extreme. But I know I have to go through a mental, physical, spiritual earthquake of shaking of the foundation. That's what the withdrawals are. And I get out the hospital and I'm being prescribed so many drugs. You have a heart attack, do you know how many drugs you can get just to feel good? I haven't taken anything other than for hypertension, aspirin. I took my Truvada, my Prep, and omega-3s. I took cayenne pill, but haven't taken Xanax, haven't taken hydroxyzine. Not all day today. Nope. This was the day I wanted to ride out. I'm angry. I don't understand this life. I'm trying to motivate the world. I'm trying to motivate myself. I'm trying to be real. When I can't even be real with myself. Questioning everything. But if I can recognize that that's not weakness, that's endurance. And that's where I'm at today. I mean, I grew up Atlanta, Virginia. I've been in the basement, the Birmingham 4, that bombing, them 4 little girls, the Ebenezer Church or whatever. Dude. We're going to be alright. But sometimes it's okay to not be okay. That's what I've been told. And that's what this episode was about. I want to thank you guys so much. You can learn more about me by going to Amazon and just reviewing or looking at God Sent Dog and Chasing God Alcoholically. Those are my books. They're available on Amazon to print and on Kindle digitally. You can save some paper, save the world. Donate to smile.amazon.com, American Heart Association. I'm going to sign off. The website, erhunter.live. Man, it's out there. Earth at erhunter.live, and that's Earth without the A. You're lovely people. And keep tuning in. Let's see how this transgresses. But I had to get something out there. Because, damn, brah. Life is hard. That's alright. It's okay. It's tough. That's okay. We gotta hold each other together, arm in arm. I just want to say, and first of all, I'm going to close on this note. I'm going to shut the episode down right after this. But it just does not seem happenstance to me that coronavirus breaks out right after these motherfuckers have been protesting in Hong Kong for like months. And like they literally could not stop them from protesting. Millions of people in the streets in Hong Kong. And then all of a sudden this crazy ass sickness, and they're melting people into their homes, and children are being abandoned and they can't get out to get food. There's a humanitarian crisis that's going on right now, and I'm going to be one of the only ones to address it, because I'm one of the only ones that's not scared of the Chinese government. If I go missing, y'all know what happened. Don't let them torture me, because, bitch, I sing like a canary. Anyway,
for us, like a husband
goodbye.
with no trust. A broken wishbone, no luck, we were just leaving. Just leaving. I wrote that song several years ago. And if you steal it, you know where you found it first. But you know what? I got to take a second and be frank and issue a formal apology, because due to new medication and new thoughts on life, new experiences, and balancing that all out chemically in my head along with people that are important to me, their behavior and their role in my life, I reacted rather than responded. I did not practice contra-reaction. And I'm still wrestling with validating it in my mind. I think my argument I've formulated and I've discussed with my close inner circle, which consists of 2-3 strong females and a male. I'm going through it. I am. And I'm lashed out. But that doesn't mean what I said or whatever I wrote on Facebook wasn't true. And to me, nothing on Facebook is true or a big deal. And it's all just a facade. And people, I thought that was just understood with the people I run with on social media. I don't believe anything I read. And I'd stated such as that. But the thing about it is, people could say that's messy. How could you say that about your mother? You know, you're talking about your own mom. You're damn right I'm talking about my mother. And I'm the only one that can say the truth like that to her on the medium Facebook. Because it would be a disservice if I held my tongue. That was my opinion when I posted it. Regardless of anybody else's reaction, that's how it was presented to me. That's how I reacted to it. The same platform. I set hard boundaries this year. And I'm doing it even more so post heart attack. And me trying to bring my family to higher standards, the standards that they raised me to have. That's all I'm noting. But it's not even like I put that shit on my fucking news feed or something. I commented on a sweet lady's
picture, some on, there was like one like, and it's just snowballed into this argument where I did get nasty, but I didn't say anything that was not true. And if anybody is going to reprimand me about how I communicate or comment on my mother's profile or her pictures or whatever, yeah, you're going to get the business. You are. But I left it open to that interpretation to get people's reaction. Because mentally, it was a cry for help. And I realize I'm just going through it. I got my back up against the wall, and I'm the only one that can fight these fights that I'm fighting. And it's hard. It's tough defending yourself. It gets tiring. It weighs on a person. Even though mentally I'm there. My body literally, my heart broke from stress, from how I cope, my lack of coping skills. And it's okay to have these scars. It's okay to be tired, but that doesn't mean I'm weak. Just because I'm tired, if anybody's supposed to be tired, it's a strong person. Because they just got done running. I just got done running with my dog. Because they just got done lifting. I just got done doing push-ups. And I'm wrestling with all of this stuff going on in my life. And it's called into question the people around me. And I think it's almost like I'm having a living wake for those that I know. It's just becoming more and more apparent where I'm going, where my life is headed. I will have to cut people out and leave them behind because they're not going to stop doing them. And that's fine. It's not for me to reprimand anyone's behavior, especially on Facebook. I'm not a judge in the court of law. But when the person that instilled your norms, what your behavior should be like, is kind of backstepping, yeah, I got mad and I called it out. But that's for me to do, not for anyone else to intervene. But if they feel so obliged, then your character will come into question as well. But I'm not saying I'm some motherfucking saint. I know that, and clearly what I did has been a cry for help. Because I have to go stand in front of a judge tomorrow and defend myself. And I'm on the brink of homelessness. I'm in what they're calling in California stuck. And it's like people that go to work every day, you get in a little car accident, something bad comes up, and next thing you know, you're living paycheck to paycheck. And don't let something else happen or someone try to evict you. And I'm not getting evicted. If I am, y'all will see me in Sacramento at Capitol Hill, because what's going on here is about principle. And I know it can seem like society is on the verge of collapsing. It seems like these are the last days. We're being driven by fear about sickness and illness and communism and human rights and activism. But this hysteria has been like this before. We will always come through it. The good guys, the non-racist guys, always win. But sometimes it's been season for a good fight. And just because I believe in nonviolence, I truly believe in nonviolence, doesn't mean I don't believe in protesting or standing up for myself. There are different ways to stand up for yourself that are bigger, but that sword is heavier to bear. That's a sword I'm learning. And as a hunter, that's my last name, I've always prided myself on my patience. But my pride was based on what I experienced in my youth. And in my youth, I was going after the small fish. I was going after the minnows. I was going after the sardines, the schools of small fish. But then I started to see the big fish. I saw their weight and it scared me at first. But now I realize as a man, that's what you're going after. If that thing swims by, that'll feed you for years. So yeah, this podcast, every episode, it might seem like a shot in the dark. It might just seem like nothing, but it is something to a lot of people all over the world. And there are people in Australia that listen to this podcast that may have lost a lot from these recent fires. There's people that have lost family members or something to this mysterious illness. There's people that have lost loved ones to senseless crime. There are people hearing this that may not even be alive anymore. So let the record show. I apologize for getting a little messy this Black History Month. But I wanted to raise awareness about mental health. I wanted to raise awareness about the heart issues and the pressure of being young, black, and queer in America. I hope that the women don't forget the gay guys, because their revolution's here. And I'm still feeling like a third-class being on this planet because of my sexual orientation, my skin color. And yet all my talents are utilized and yet underpaid constantly. But it's gotten to a point where I think I have to be angry, or I feel like I do, because it feels like I'm going to that school fight. Like you said, meet, by the power lines. Y'all know the spot on a Thursday afternoon at 4 o'clock, and you're the one. And when everybody roll up, you've been thinking about that fucking fight for days. Shit. Just stewing in your head how you gonna swing on a motherfucker. Or just how bad, and it's just, that's how I feel. And it's so immature though. Because none of this had to go, everybody could be living peacefully, happily. But somebody wants to come and threaten my civil rights? No. I've read too many books. I went to school too much. I've donated, I've volunteered, I've experienced too much in life to let this shit slide. And if it was anybody else, I'd tell them that, stick it out. But sticking this out, what I'm going through, is rough. It is. And it's easy to get off course and look at all the fish everybody else is reeling in. All the people that are having kids and got married, and it seems like they're building lives, and I don't know what I'm building. Me and my dog. And I am trying to reestablish myself, because as a creative person, and if you are crazy enough to move to Los Angeles and even have a glimmer of hope that you'll make it one day, you got something in you that is very rare. It's very rare. And we don't talk about that enough. But it's the waiter at Matza over on Melrose, or what was that place? The sushi waiters at Sushi Dan in NoHo, fucking off of Ventura. It's those people. You know what? They tried, and they still trying. It may be something they did a couple of years ago. They might have some old ass reel, but you know what? It takes one person. And if this is the place, and so what I'm saying is, if you had that gumption at any point, you were born there and you made it out, you didn't kill yourself fucking drinking too much, doing drugs, doing stupid shit with your friends, or getting caught up in some criminal bullshit, there's a glimmer. If you were able to see that hope, baby, don't forget that. Don't forget that. If anything, I apologize to myself. I'm sorry to me, because I forgot you were strong, Eric. I forgot you're a published author, self-published author, Hunter, I forgot that you got a tax ID number for your organization, Extra Resources That Help, Earth, without the A. Sometimes you really have to remind yourself that you are worth it, that it's okay to be vulnerable. Anybody in their right mind, I'd be psychotic. I think I would be psycho if I wasn't a little stressed or feeling like my back's up against the wall. Because even though I know I'm in the right, black people and court system, judicial system, it doesn't usually fare very well. So I'm trusting that justice's eyes be blind to my race, but I'm also trusting that justice's eyes be uncovered to my race. Because the discrimination I'm experiencing with this fraudulent eviction, with this dismantling of my life, giving me so much stress that I had a cardiac infarction. I had a fucking heart attack. I am 30 years old. It's brought everything under immense scrutiny, but it's also brought a lot of mental issues, and I'm grateful for, it was Lady Gaga and Oprah. They were doing this 2020 tour. It's the podcast. I'll share the link. But I really appreciated Gaga continuing where they left off from a previous podcast, but actually rehashing some mental health issues and the advice that she offered. And that's not an easy thing to do because, no, we're not doctors. We are artists. We're podcasters. We're speakers. But it's like the doctors, some doctors aren't the best communicators. You know, you only get, you're fucking kicking around a can or fucking singing, do you ever feel like a plastic bag floating through the wind? Because you didn't get that med school degree. But you got something that doctor doesn't get. You get to walk on the beach. You get to enjoy your Saturday. Yeah, you're bussing tables on a Friday night. But you know what, bitch? You're going home to your roommates with a 6-pack or something, or rolling up some weed. And if it's even just for 2 hours on a Sunday, it kept you grateful. The doctor, yeah, he might be driving a Benz, but ain't nobody else up in that bitch. He got to tell people their loved ones died all day and he's never home because everybody's sick. I'll never forget, someone sat me down. His name was Tyler in college. He said, don't become a doctor. He took me down to the baseball field. And I was feeling him. I mean, he is a cute man. He's very good looking. And he's got a look. He's so cute. I had a big crush on him, but he told me straight up, he was like, dude, don't go to med, like, don't become a doctor. And I'm like, why not? He's like, because you will never see your family. You'll never see your kids. And he was so serious, and the fact that he took the time to sit down with me, his bedside manner was impeccable. Let me tell you something, doctor's children, that's who you want to fucking get some hard news from. But I love him for that. And I believed him. I saw it in his eyes. I saw the disappointment in his eyes and how much he missed his dad. And even though my dad wasn't in my life, the man that, was the sperm donor and the man that raised me, and it was just so obvious he wasn't my real dad. He was so dark and I'm so light skinned. And it's not like I called him dad. I called him Gene. And that's the thing. I'm flipping out because I'm in the hospital for days, and the people I thought had my ride or dies, it was like I died and nobody cared. Like it was like they are not my ride or dies. And so when that comes into focus, I'm like, God, what are you doing? What are you doing? Why are you doing this? Why am I losing not just my possessions, but my family too? But I still stand and I trust you. I won't turn my back on God. I did it before and I gained the world. Don't get me wrong. It was like I sold out. I've done it twice now. It's almost like I've sold out. And I've learned my lesson in this life. I've done it twice before. When things got hard, when things got rough, I gave up on God. I turned my back. I stopped believing. And I pursued the worldly pleasures and I gained them. And it wasn't worth it. I mean, I would have rathered But it's not really about my plan because I don't know, in the grand scheme of things, it's not what I expected. And I know we're not supposed to have expectations, but when you are taught to plan and set goals, anything that gets in your way of that objective over and over, and it, for me, I'll be honest, it's been rich white men that are cheap as fuck from Newport Beach, of over 60, that wear fucking khaki shorts and polos and drive Jaguars. Because one did it on May 3rd, 2018, hit me as a drunk driver. He was drunk. And it's not about the fact that he was drunk. Like, I drink. I get that. I struggle with alcohol abuse. I get that. I smoke weed. It levels me out, man. And I'm not ashamed of that. I'm ashamed of the fact this motherfucker never even came to check if I had been who I was. Never apologized. I could have been a family, could have been somebody's daughter, could have been somebody's son, and he just was so fucked up. And maybe that was, I know he was he probably had a concussion because he totaled his shit. He totaled both of our cars. And now the same person with a different name is doing it to me where I've invested and lived in for over a year now in Coachella Valley, California. And I mean, when you have the wheels, the lug nuts of your car just mysteriously missing and your wheel fucking falls off while you're driving, that's some mafioso shit. Somebody's clearly trying to mess with me, or they were. But you know what? Everything, the cards being dealt to me, the game, the house, it's playing to my favor. Because I'm the one at the casino, I'll be drunk as fuck. I won't even lie. In Vegas, oh my God. I don't know how people put up with me in Vegas. Because I get fucking shit-faced, but I'm a good speaker. And I'm cute too. So I'll find a poker table with a dude that's just white guy minding his own business. And then the longer I sit there and learn how to play like this blackjack, and certain casinos have different hand gestures. So I was like so used to fucking tapping the table to hit me that they're like, no, that doesn't work here. You got to do this. You got to swing your hand this way. And I'm like, I'm too fucked up to learn this shit. But they didn't want me to leave the table. They're like, no, you're good because you're actually like winning money. So, and the guy in the casino, the motherfucking manager, he would lean and check my cards. He was like, yeah, now you want to do this. And the dude, I just kept fucking with him. And he would give me little tips or whatever. And then I'd be like, yo, like, do you want to go upstairs or go across the street at the hotel I'm at, or the casino I'm staying at? And I mean, you gotta be ready for rejection with straight guys. I mean, straight guys will fucking tell you, they'll lead you on, and then they fucking they tease you. And it's a game. Every once in a while. Every once in a blue moon, though, it's so worth it. Because you get that one that just doesn't give a fuck anymore. And he's like, my girlfriend knows I'm bi. And you're like, fuck yeah, you ready to do this? And he fucks the shit out of you. That shit. If you haven't had your prostate titillated while you're coming, guys, it's amazing. It's absolutely incredible. I know God is real. I know God is real. And I'm tempted to call him daddy. Because a woman can't do that. Oh, but man, can they wind me up. What the fuck happening out there? It's not like somebody... Shit. Don't be screeching out on my street. So anyway, I'm talking about God. I'm swearing. And I just wanted to make a frank apology to myself for forgetting. And then I lashed out at people I used to love. But love is very delicate. And I don't think a person whose mother put them up for adoption is going to be like, oh yeah, I love my biological mother. You don't have to love people just because they're related to you. Now, it's convenient. It seems like it makes life easier. But when I love you, I hold you accountable. I hold you to a pedigree. And it's a respect. Love is cyclical, and it can endure. So if I loved you once, I love you always. But right now, you're going to get this tough love. And that's what people are getting, because I don't have tomorrow promised. I don't know about you. I used to think I did. I really did. But I can't believe a doctor pulled up, handsome man, blonde hair, looks like he fucking fell off of Shonda Rhimes' lap off of Grey's Anatomy, into that room. He pulled up that chair, and they're going to go in on what drugs have you been doing. I have not been doing drugs in the last 30 days, sir. They can rule that out. And they're doing my blood. And if I really had some drugs in my system, that shit would have shown in my blood work. When there's no other cause and you start talking about your life and you're getting worked up and then you start having an anxiety attack in front of their eyes, yeah, you got issues, dude. And that's okay. But taking it out on the females in my life that aren't behaving as appropriately as I see fit, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I may have overstepped some boundaries, but anybody that didn't contact me when I was in the hospital, whose name is on my birth certificate, they overstepped a boundary with me. And I'm resentful, I'm angry, I'm hurt. Because how do you live your life when you feel like you're dead to the people that are supposed to care and love about you the most? How the fuck do you watch movies when everybody's got a dad and a mom and yours don't want anything to do with you? I really don't know what I did. So that might clarify some things too. My buddy Ian, he wrote this song, I got daddy issues, I got mama her boots, and I'm a dead man walking, I'm a dead man walking. I got mommy issues, I got daddy his boots, and I'm a dead man walking, I'm a dead man walking. Me and Ian, man, I hope me and him can hash it up. I miss him. Shit, when I was hanging with Mike Posner, because Posner used to date my roommate's best friend. And so we went from Malibu, our trailer. I lived with like 2 girls and like 3 dudes. Ian was one of them. We went to the Malibu, but Ian wasn't with us that day. That's why I was calling him, because I was tripping out, because I'm like, dude, I was texting him. I said, they brought us to this chick's party, and I live with her roommate. He knows who the roommate is. I'm not going to say her name, because she will never get... No, I'm not even... See, I want to go in on that bitch. I'll say this. You don't evict somebody 2 weeks after their father dies. And they did that shit to me. But anyway, rich white people will make a nigga feel disposable. That's why I'm fed up. And literally now my heart is hurt. I don't know about that heartbreak syndrome that motherfucker had on Grey's Anatomy after getting hit by the car, the gay dude. But, oops, spoiler alert. Yeah, Posner and I, we were cool, but we were just we were in different seasons. And that was for the best, because the season he was in, he was already seasoned. I was just getting in the oven. You know what I was just starting to get marinated, because he wasn't even drinking. And Posner came to the birthday party. It was like 7 of us. And it wasn't like, it was like this big ass fucking mansion or something. Like, no, these girls are like in college and shit, working LA girls. And I was like, you telling me Mike, the singer, he's coming here? And they're like, yes. And I thought he was a black dude from all the songs I used to listen to. So he showed up. And I was texting Ian, and Ian was like, oh, he knows my boy. My boy was made some beats for him. So I said, oh, do you know Ian blank? And he was like, nah. And then he was like trying to tell, I was geeking out. Like, we were having a conversation, like me and him and another dude, because we were the only 4 dudes there. And it was his girlfriend's birthday. The girls are doing like, happy birthday and all this shit. But they were like, don't be fucking asking him to, do your demo and shit. But they do know I sang and I was just into him. So the girls were always laughing at me. Like, we would go to his shows. I remember we went to his show at Hotel Cafe, and I was so in my drunkenness, and Mike wasn't smoking then. Or no, he wasn't drinking. He was so nice. He was always so nice, but we were VIP because we know, whoever. We've been going there too. That was just the spot, and he just happened to be playing there. But I'd be like rocking out to him fucking performing. That was the day he dropped I Took a Pill in Ibiza. And my dumbass didn't even, I wasn't following him on Twitter. I wasn't doing Instagram because he was actually like coming over our house and like playing with my guitar and shit, like in a friend. So I didn't want to like fucking be like, oh yeah, let me start following him on Twitter and Instagram. Like, we got along because I didn't treat him like he was a fucking celebrity and writing songs for Justin Bieber. Little did I know. And he was so nice, and he would come up after his show, like we were getting free drinks at the bar while people were waiting in line to get his autograph. He'd literally come out the cut. He would go in his dressing room and then come back around, and all of a sudden I just feel like these strong hands giving me a shoulder rub while I'm drinking a martini at the bar. And he's like, what'd you think of the show? And I'm like, dude, I said, that can't be, I didn't know what else to say. I said, that can't be easy. Like, that was just very impressive. And I kind of gushed a little bit, but he was really just like, yeah, dude's like, and we were like, yeah, we're going to wait for you to get done doing what you got to do. Like, we're here just at the bar partying. And he would, just come up behind me and pat me on the back and like talk to me. And I just really felt like, man, this guy, and he would tell you, oh, no, I'm sober. But I can relate to Posner because from what I'm gathering, I just heard about him on the Aubrey Marcus podcast recently, is just that sometimes God is bigger than AA. Oh, no, I don't know. I can't speak for him because I know what works for me. And for me, it's God. It's not religion. It's a spiritual practice. And I have to find my flow. Just like in yoga, it could be a vinyasa flow. It could be an AA flow. It could be an NA flow. But I'm not going to just close off. And I'm looking forward to experience a lot of psychedelic flows. I'm glad that's getting more exposure. And he's a big inspiration for that. And so there are just, when you go through hard times, you've got to remember who's been a light in my life. Why did I used to think I mattered so much? And it was because I was getting touched. I was rubbing shoulders with, literally getting my shoulders rubbed. By not just, and it wasn't the money, it's the influence. So young. That's so rare. And so I don't count it happenstance. I was around people like that, and they were so nice to me, and we developed connections like that. And eventually, I'm trusting God that Posner will be on the rhetorical sake one day, and sit down with me, or like even just over Skype or something, whatever. But it will be a feature, and a lot of people like that will be, because people are already asking, what celebrities are you having on your show? And so I can't tell y'all that yet. That's, only time will tell. But you got a celebrity right here, and it's me. But being an advocate, it's been weighing on me. And it makes you a little bit of a savage, and you start to see my human side. I see my lizard brain kind of coming out more. But I'm okay with that. I wasn't put here to be perfect. So I'm sorry to myself. I don't have to apologize to my God, because my God's not a punishing God. He's a liberator. He's a freedom fighter. And I just pray that justice's eyes, that the scales, that this all not be in vain. And this isn't the only one. There's some stuff coming up, and I've just decided in 2020, I'm not taking people's shit. We're too close to the brink of revolutions and breakdowns and fallouts. So if you see that big fish, and I'm gonna tell you the truth, that metaphor is from a recent T.D. Jakes sermon called "Reel It In." But it showed me that I have been so used, because I really pride myself on being a hunter. And that's in my careers, that's in prospects, that's in independent contracting, that's in sales and marketing. I love that that's my last name. I don't take it for granted. Cacciatore, Jaeger. That's hunter. And that was a people, that was a lifestyle. And I know I've been tested, my patience tested. But there's a certain time when you realize you gotta strike. And it can be a scary moment because you might not have your footing. It's not what this wasn't how practice looked, coach. But you know what? If you don't take the shot, if you don't stand up for yourself, and sometimes you're done hunting. You ain't even out here for sport. I was headed home and this bear walked in front of me. I had to pop his ass when a pack of wolves came for me. Shit. I wasn't even trying to get dirty. I got in the damn tussle. I was just minding my own motherfucking business. That bat came out of nowhere. And it makes you grateful. And that's what this show, that's what everybody who listens does for me. And I mean every single one, even the people that stop being friends with me on social media. Look, I called a bunch of people over Christmas break, and it just, as humans, man, I really hope that we have a revolution, a renaissance of thought and of values. I think we got the moral code thing down. I think we know that, not to hurt each other, not to be violent, not to be overbearing or abusive in any way. But there's a vanity factor and there's the exclusion factor, a factor of exclusiveness. And this is the thing about a class system. You might just be with all your rich friends, but y'all will never, never taste the sweet Kool-Aid of being the lower class friend. Because you don't even know how to party like they party in the hood. You can't just live in the suburbs and go to a party in the hood. Because even if it's not even like nobody's going to bother you, you don't even know how to stand. So we need each other. I've always been the one to balance that out. I hope this arrow strikes where it needs to. And I trust that it will. Because I was brave enough to bring my bow and draw the arrow and let go. This has been a very intimate and personal episode of The Rhetorical Sake. Life is too short and too sweet. Man. I'm thrilled, you guys. I'm happy. I am. It's a gorgeous day out. Been out in the sun with my dog, running, push-ups, abs. And I've taken my meds and I got a massage at the Chronic Pain Institute. And I'm trying to make sure I'm taking care of myself. And this has been a big part of it, and it always will be. And it's just the beginning, and it already seems just so grand. In any case, I'm going to sign off. I might be back with some more tidbits and just taper this episode up. And the editing is going to be really funky until I get the desktop back up and running. But that's why any donations at patreon.com/erhunter are greatly appreciated. You could also buy several copies of God Sent Dog, as well as Chasing God Alcoholically. You can listen to it. I think Kindle will read it to you. I'm going to record it. I'm going to record both my books, but I'm still working on this third book. I'm trying to put one foot in front of the other, you guys. And it's just been long phone call after phone call with lawyers and attorneys. But today, right before the trial, and I'll check in post-trial to let you know how that goes. And if you have some time, Google Assembly Bill 1482. in Palm Springs, California. Look up all the homelessness prevention grants in under california.gov. Gavin Newsom is addressing it very well. I would love to talk to him and just become a huge proponent for this, because I'm facing it. And it's not because I mismanage my money. It's because I'm a human being. And sometimes it's like, oh, you just caught me at a bad moment, nigga. Like, give me a break, motherfucker. Can you take this rent money? They're like, no, leave. And it's like, no, bitch, I lived here for over a year. Take this money. And they're like, no. So you're not going to take my $1,000 this month? No. And we're going to sue you for trying to pay you my rent? Get the fuck out of here. I'm glad we did this. I'll let y'all know what happens. This was the day I wanted to write out. I'm angry. I don't understand this life. I'm trying to motivate the world. I'm trying to motivate myself. I'm trying to be real. When I can't even be real with myself. Questioning everything. But if I can recognize that that's not weakness, that's endurance. And that's where I'm at today. I mean, I grew up Atlanta, Virginia. I mean, I've been in the basement, the Birmingham 4, that bombing, them 4 little girls, the Ebenezer Church or whatever. Dude. We're going to be alright. But sometimes it's okay to not be okay. That's what I've been told. And that's what this episode was about. I want to thank you guys so much. You can learn more about me. This is Running for the Ocean a cappella. They're killing artists in the streets. All the mode knows no chic. We gave them some resistance, and then they took the boys. These children born in paradise, but raised in holy hell. And now they're running for the ocean. They run behind you with expectations, stand in front of your congregation, make a little money and they judge you, fall behind and they won't trust you. The rules say rich kids can't be mad, but they were raised by their nannies, not their dads. Tears cover the bills in their pocket, but a revolution is coming and you can't stop it. They try to tell you slow down, slow down. It's a marathon, not a race. They try to tell you slow down, slow down. And then they catch up and take your place. They're killing artists in the streets. Alamo knows no chic. We gave them some resistance. And then they took the boys, these children born in paradise, but raised in holy hell. Now they're running for the ocean. And all I want to say is that they don't give a fuck about us. And all I want to say is that they don't give a fuck about us. We'll be marching through the streets, shouting, do not tread on me. Give us death or miss liberty, too much blood on these gentrified streets. Now our flag is black and white.
rather than the red, blue, and the white. Turned it upside down so it hung right. My mama made me real proud, real proud. That's why I play my music real loud, real loud. Because my dreams are real now, real now. I'm rocking like a Rothschild, Rothschild. Study abroad and got a new style. Started speaking up, got my voice down. I'm cooking in the lab now. Wanna sing my song for the big crowds, 'cause all my fears are dead now. They're killing artists in the streets. Alamo knows no chic. We gave them some resistance, and then they took the boys. These children born in paradise, but raised in holy hell. And now we're running for the ocean.